Everyone, welcome to the Microsoft Purview Days. Thanks for joining the session, and we will be talking about Purview, eDiscovery from my side. Let me share my screen. I hope everyone is able to see the screen now. Okay, great. We are able to see the screen. Let's sideline this recording. Okay, so let's talk about Microsoft Purview Days. Uh, we have exciting prizes, so please make sure you join the session and you answer it to get these prizes. We support a cause. Please be with us if you want to support the cause. We have details of donation at the bottom of the screen. And I would be taking the fourth session. Thanks for allowing me to give this session. It starts at 10:45 a.m. to 11:30. That's like 45 minutes for me. If I want to talk about myself, I work currently as a cloud architect with Collinfa Consulting. I have more than 15 years of experience, and I'm currently located in Canada, Ontario, working as an cloud architect for Collinfa. I've worked on all the versions of SharePoint, Office 365. I worked on Office 365 when it was not even called Office 365; it was known as Office Live back in 2006. So let's get started. Let's first understand what is e-discovery. E-discovery or electronic discovery is a process of identifying and delivering electronic information that can be used as an evidence in legal cases. So we use e-discovery for a basic purpose of any kind of legal issues or legal matters that needs to be addressed. For example, if there's any kind of theft that has happened in the organization, or if there is any kind of uh, a big claim that has come onto the organization that organization people are not following best practices, or they're not following some specific practices, or if anyone else is not following a particular thing which is need to be governed as part of the organization, and organization feels that it is just few set of people, or it's a group of or department that's not following it or something like that. We need to make sure that we preserve those evidences. We are able to take care of those evidences. We are able to search those evidences and preserve it as and when needed. So we go next. We'll talk about two versions of. Actually, there are three versions. We'll be talking mainly about two versions. That is standard and premium. Standard is very basic version of it, which has three or four features in it. Like you'll be able to see search, home, hold, export settings. Whereas in premium, you'll be able to see search, home, search, hold, preview, analytics, exports, and settings. Uh, so these are basics, but if I talk about premium, it helps to build on existing case management. So I'll show you how you can actually build on top of existing case management. Preservation searches, exports capabilities in eDiscovery are very limited, whereas in premium version, it's very extensive. It's a complete flow, and there are a lot of things which can happen. Like in premium, you can actually go inside of every version of a document and find out if there is a particular word or particular sentence, or talk about it, which is not there in the standard, which is not there with a lot of third-party products that is there in the market. So it's very critical that you not just look at only one particular document which is live, but you look at all the documents which are there, and all the versions of those documents. It's very critical, very important. We should be able to look into it, and that was very recently introduced in the premium version with eDiscovery. If I talk about roles, there are basically two roles. One is e-discovery manager and one is e-discovery administrator. The basic difference is manager can do everything he wants to do with his own case, which means that he would be able to create a case and would be able to assign and search and perform hold, whereas administrator can do all the actions of a manager on his cases and on other manager cases, which means that he can manage his own cases as well as other cases, other managers' cases as well. So that's the basic difference. That's the main difference. Others are bookish things which I shared with you. What permissions licensing you need? to use eDiscovery Premium and Standard, you need one of the following license, which is eDiscovery 365, Microsoft 365, E5, and Microsoft 365 E3 with advanced compliance add-on, or Microsoft 365 E5 compliance add-on. If you talk about what is eDiscovery, the core source or the main source of eDiscovery is Substrat. It's a very critical and a very core component of it. Not many people know about it. We can actually have a very deep dive session on Substrat itself. You know, if we get in time in future, we'll definitely talk about Substrat in future. Now, if we talk about creating and create or view cases in eDiscovery using PowerShell, for standard, there are PowerShell commands. Like I've given PowerShell commands to view a case. I've given PowerShell command to view a new case, create a new case, create new. So if you create the same case and you don't mention it eDiscovery, it's just going to create a if like if this you use the same command with the search and you don't mention this case, that means it's not going to create a case for you. It's not going to create a search. It's just going to create a search, but not a standard case for you, and it will not be part of this case. So this case name is important if you want it to be part of the standard. You can run this command without, but that's going to be just a search. And we'll talk about why we need search, why we just need compliance search to be there, why we should be able to create we should be able to just have compliance search in picture, because that's the first step. So if I talk about it, is it there are four steps to it. The first step is search. The second search is where we go to a little advanced, which is standard. The third and the fourth step is actually in the premium version of it, where actually you can do investigation, you can export, you can do tons of things out there. And that's the core functionality of eDiscovery, I would say. Then once you actually create a, you start a search on a particular item which you create, and you can get search results as to what's the status of that compliance search. I've created this as in PowerShell. We should be able to run it and show it to you. Don't worry about it. We'll discuss about it. Very important part in standard in previous versions, like about a couple of months back, I was able to export results using PowerShell, but that is not available now. It's not there now. Otherwise, it was one of the core features of being able to. And if we talk about eDiscovery Premium, it's damn complex. It's very complex, and you are not able to perform a lot of actions with PowerShell because of the complexity. So Microsoft has said we will not allow you a lot of PowerShell commands to take actions. If you want to do anything, you have to come to the UI to do it. So the only two commands which I was able to do utilize is to be able to get compliance case, which is an advanced case, and if you want to actually go ahead and create a new compliance case, that's it. You're not able, and there are a couple of other commands which I can actually share with you if you want to, if you want more information of that. You can connect with me. I'll share more information about that. But if we talk about compliance search, yes, there is a lot of things which you would not be able to do with PowerShell. You really need to make sure that you are able to get a proper UI to perform all those actions. Okay. Now let's talk about eDiscover PowerShell demo. I would be showing you a demo that'll show you content search, the first thing which I talked about, and the second thing is standard eDiscovery on how you can create and manage a content search and a eDiscovery standard case. So I'll just stop sharing for a minute and uh, start. I have my own bots created in the system, so if you might be able to see things which are happening, like my PowerShell talking to me, my other applications talking to me. So it's okay. You should be able to see those things. So hi. Okay, that's my PowerShell talking to me. I um and MS demo we discussed, and last week everyone is watching you. Okay, now we are in business. Let's do a thing. Are you ready with the PowerShell? I asked you to write. Uh, okay, you have it ready. Great. So please, yes, please go ahead. Okay, so go to the PowerShell. Okay, it's running the script. Okay, it'll take some time to perform the search, because once the search has been executed, once the search is running in the background, it's actually gonna take some time to show some result, or actually at least perform some search in the background. As I said, it is needed. So, okay, how they are current doing. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Okay. When does this happen? Okay, let's see. When did you guys pay you text me? I'm answering. Okay, that's strange. Okay, sorry, guys. Sorry to hear, dude. Okay. Okay, see. Maybe after demo. Demo ke baad, let's see. Sorry for this interruption, guys. I'm talking with my bot, and I was like, okay, this is a news to me. Now let's go back to the search is completed, and now let's see. With the search, okay, we have the demo, and this is created, and we are able to see it. I'm able to see the search statistics. I think it's going to take some time for me to get the search statistics because this has started the search, so there are no items in it yet. But yeah, we'll with some more time for the search to get completed and show that. I know I don't want to purge. If you want this PowerShell on how you can run, I can definitely share that with you. Okay, let's see if my PowerShell can actually help us with our standard version of eDiscovery as well. Can you create a new standard eDiscovery? Yes. Okay. Do it, dude. What are you waiting for? Yeah, now. Okay. Yes, let's do it. Okay, you have the script ready. That's good. Okay, so you have run the script. We created it. That says demo search, demo me, search me. Okay, let's see what search was created. And I go down, I see eDiscovery, I go to standard, and here I see demo search for me. That's good. And okay, I go to search. Okay, search is created. It's gonna take some time, as I said, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think that should be it from you, PowerShell. That should be good for now. Thank you. Okay, so let me stop sharing again, and now we're gonna. So now you were able to see how using PowerShell we were able to. If you need these PowerShell scripts, do let me know. I can definitely share these PowerShell scripts with you without any issues, and we can talk about these PowerShells in details. The commands that I executed, most of them are there in the PPT, which we'll be sharing with you. Okay, now let's come back to the PPT, and we'll talk about we'll talk about eDiscovery Advanced Workflow. Now, what does eDiscovery Advanced Workflow has to offer us? eDiscovery Advanced Workflow has custodians adding custodians to the case. What are custodians, first of all? Custodians are the people or groups or mailboxes or places where the content is actually stored. They have the custody of the content. So the content is actually at that particular place or the mailbox or the SharePoint site. So those are called custodians. So that's the content is with them. They own it. We collect relevant information from data sources. We can commit collections to a review set. I'll show you what commit means and what do we talk about commits. And then we review and analyze data and review sets, and then we export and download case to the data. So now when we export and download, that's what goes to the code or that gets going to the people who actually need to see this data as an evidence and take actions accordingly. So, that's the whole purpose of it. We'll look into it shortly. So now we're gonna look at two demos right now. The first demo is going to be eDiscovery Advanced, the whole search. And then we are also going to look at eDiscovery creation using API. Now, again, there are very limited commands that are available in API because of the same reason. It's very complex, very difficult to manage from PowerShell and API. So there are only specific actions that you can do. Right now, we'd only be looking at creation. Okay. And we'll be using the Graphs API, which is having the latest of all the commands. So let's go. Okay, I go back and we'll look at the demo right now. Okay. Okay, now we are in the eDiscovery Center. Let me just first show you the eDiscovery content search that we performed. The eDiscovery content search that we performed would have contents in it. These are eDiscovery content searches that we had. And let me just click on the Cricket one that I had created some time back because it is going to have some content because it is running from long. Yes, it does. It has 303 KB of data, some 1.8 MB of data, and it has searched about 67 mailboxes so far. If I look at search statistics, I can definitely look at all the statistics that are there. Now, yeah, and if I look at all these, if I want to look into it from more detail, like all the emails and everything, all the files would be loaded out here, and I would be able to see them without any problems. This is going to take a little time. So I'm going to skip that for now, but we'll definitely show you. If I want to look at what options I have options to export results, copy search, delete, rerun search, and edit search. Now, this is the first step of our case. If you're telling someone that there is, let's say, a hacking event that has happened that I want to search for, or there are people who are talking about cricket when I don't want people to talk about cricket in an office domain, like an email or something like that. I first need to identify whether really people are talking about it or it's just that I feel or someone else is trying to spread a rumor. So this search gives me an idea that people are really talking about cricket. Yes, there are cricket related document conversations that are happening in Teams, that are happening in email, that are happening in SharePoint. And now the investigation actually can go to the second step where we can say, guys, there is something happening. There should be an investigation. So the search helps us with the first step, preliminary step. The second step is where we actually go to the standard version of it actually. So in standard version, you can create a little more number of cases. In premium right now, you're only able to create two cases because it's very complex. And all the cases that are there in standard, you can actually go ahead and upgrade them to premium. So this is what I was talking about, that once you see that standard is there and there are some things in standard, you can actually upgrade to premium, move this case to premium and make sure that, you can actually use the advanced features or advanced things of uh, eDiscovery. So I'll go to Wheels because I ran it a long time back and I should be able to see some contents in it. Let's see if there's any content related to Wheels. Let me just check. Okay. So yeah, this got created. I don't think so. We have any content because we ran it some time back, so there's not much of content in it. I'll go to standard. uh, Premium version where we'll be actually creating a case and I've actually created a case because it takes a lot of time for the search and a lot of other things to happen. I've created a case, so we'll show you how to create a case, and then I'll switch to this tennis case and we'll talk about what features are there which gets done after the case is created. So I create a case. Okay, I don't have more than two cases. Okay, this is strange. I have only one case and it's still not allowing me to create more cases. Okay, first of all, this option I would like you to everyone know. There's not much options out here. These options were very recently added, but there's only one option that was here. That was attorney client privilege. This is the only specific setting that you need to know about, where client attorney privilege can be on and actions can be taken in it. So I go back and uh, okay, now it's allowing me to create a case. I think it was not properly refreshed or something, some problem was there. I create a case with name of cricket. Okay, I say cricket demo for MS Purview days. And if I want to give some kind of number to it, now this number is nothing but is just a case number or some kind of things which is there. So I do not want to give any number. I just select next. Now the next is about members. Who would be the members of who would be members of the team who would be looking into this case. So I can select, let's say Adeline is one of the member, and actually I can even select a group which is a member. I do not want to select a group. I just selected as a user. Now it says reduce duplicate links. Now this is where some complexities gets there, like if you have any similarities that you want to look at, or minimum word count should be this, or maximum word count should be this. That's a conversation, but I do not want it to be changed. I would let it to be there. You can group item by theme. Let's say I say cricket, and there's going to be anyone talking about score, anyone talking about anyone talking about penalty, anyone talking head trick. These are like that's a theme we are talking about. If we talk about create a saved query, yeah, that can be performed. If now let's say what is the text to ignore? If there's any text that you need actually to be ignored or to be looked at, I say that's gonna come here. I say, let's say cricket, actual text or expression, and I say text cricket for now, uh, and another very important thing. For example, people try to say, guys, you are, we want to trick our management by not actually talking about cricket in the chat, but we take screenshots and we keep on posting the cricket screenshots. If you do that, then there's another feature which is OCR, optical character recognition, where if you put in a if you put in an image, I can actually look at the image and figure out whether the word cricket is there in that image, whether the word score is there in the image. So I can actually, you cannot trick the system. You can definitely try, but you would not be able to trick the system with an OCR. OCR would be able to find the word cricket or would be able to find the word score or something like that. And then you're still stuck with the same kind of problem that you are in. So this is summary of what I have configured right now, and I select submit. And this is going to just do a basic case creation and submission. Advanced eDiscovery is getting created. Again, as I said, premium, you can only create two cases. And that is why I was getting the error in the initial phases, but now I just had to perform some refresh and it's gone. Now, what options do I get? I get data sources. Data sources is where I can actually say who are the custodials, where the content actually is. I can select that. I can select collections. Collections is where what kind of search queries are going to be performed, what words I'm looking for, uh, what specific things I'm looking for. So let me just let's see, data sources is who are the custodians. I'll say the custodians are a it's gonna come up. Let's say the first custodian can be this, the second everything, and then I select the other custodian as this. It's taking time to get the results. Okay, I'll go with just the admin user for now. This user, and what do you really want to put the content on hold? I said no, but I can actually even put it on hold. I'll show you about this hold in a few minutes. Like if there's any word or cricket or football or score, something like that is found, it should be able to put that on hold so that the person doesn't delete it. Because the person, the moment he gets to know there is some kind of search or investigation going on, he might delete it. So to prevent that, we can actually perform and hold. And then what we do is we review the current settings that is there and we submit it. Now this is where the custodian is created, who is having the custody of that content. Now we go to the collections. Collections is where we're gonna look for what we are looking for. What is a search string? So this is where the search string started, where we started the search. Search is going to tell us, whether what we are looking for is really there or not, or it's just that, people are spreading lies. So I say, look out for the word cricket and I select what are the custodians that I have. This is a custodian I have in this case. And if there's any non-custodians that I want, non-custodians are people who I feel that might be there, that might be involved, not something I want an investigation on. But so I select, okay, there's no custodians. And if I want additional locations, I can say also look for everywhere else. I just select all the sites, all the public folders everywhere. Just search for the word cricket. What word I'm looking for? I'm looking for the word cricket. I'm looking for the keywords that says operator is equal to word cricket. And that's it. I am looking for this word cricket. I can actually expand this to look for other words and other complex parameters. I'm just going to look for this. And if you ever know about KQL, you can actually use a KQL language as well. I hit submit and that's done and review is done. Collection is created. The next is about review set. So whatever data that gets done in the collection, I have to make sure that I actually once this is not showing any data, but once it has the data, it's processing right now. Once it has data, it'll allow me to go to review sets. And then we also have communications. So review sets and communication will look at the existing case which I've created. So let's go there. I go to tennis and over here I can see I have three data sources right now with me, Joni, Deborah, and CDX the same. I have created collection and over here I can see there are there is content that has been found, and I want, if you want to perform a review of the sample of whatever I was found, I can just click on review, and this is all the documents and emails and everything else between them, and I can even view them. I'll show you about viewing them a little separately, because I have a separate option. But once you get out here, the most important thing that people miss is that you have to go here and you have to perform an action that says commit. Once you commit it, only that commit will actually move this data to review sets. Unless you have committed the collection, it will not go to the review set. So you have to make sure that you commit the search results that has been found for it to go to. If you want to see the data sources, this is going to be data sources, search, statistics, and collections. This is something that we've already looked at in the standard version. So I'll go to review sets, the most important part. Now, review sets is where a lot of magic happens. So in this review set, I'll open the review set. This is the most important part, okay? Because what's going to happen out here is this is where the actual evidence collection process happens. I see here that there's an email that says cricket. I just go here, I say annotate. Okay, I can annotate it. I can just, make sure that, okay, this particular cricket conversation should have a red mark, and here. This is incorrect. You should not have this word here. You are talking about cricket. That should not be your email communication at all. I've marked it. Now I know that when if I have to open it, I can just keep on opening these things, and I can actually make sure that the words that this is where I've marked content, which should be shown. I can select text, and I can actually annotate the selections. There are a lot of other things which I can do. If I want to delete it, I can delete it. I can change it. I can do a lot of things with it. So this is basically, what the investigation things can happen. At this level, you can have area radiation. So this is like retracted. So, I just make sure that, okay, I'm hiding that particular part of it. It should not be available, but everything else in this email should be available. So these options are very critical for any kind of investigation for us to be taken forward. And that's what all this data, I can actually export the information, and actually I can tag that information as I want to. And once all this tagging and this thing is done, I can actually go ahead and export all these results to make sure that this can be presented in the court of law or any kind of legal dispute or discussion that we want to take into. Definitely, you can look in for words, you can look in for dates, you can look in for subjects and other things. These are always available. I'll come out of review sets. Again, creation of review sets can take some time. It's not a very easy and a small process, and that's why I had to do it in advance for this demo. Talk about communications a little. Communications is where we are able to actually, this is legally required if we are in specific countries. Like Ireland has this law that if you're performing an investigation on someone, you need to inform them there's an investigation happening on them, and what kind of content you're looking at, what you're looking at. So over here, there's an acknowledgement that a portal that actually tells you that, okay, there is an acknowledgement that we can type in an email and send it to the people who have the content, that dude, there's something that's happening. You need to acknowledge that you have read this email. There's a portal link that will be given to you where you can go to the portal and look into a couple of things, and who's the issuing officer, issuing date, couple of other things that can be put in. And so there would be three different sections. The issuance, when the issue is actually happening, you found something and there's an issue. And then there's a reissue when you found again something which is different. And then there's another release that, whatever was issued and locked, now it has been released. So you can let them know that, okay, that content has been released. So all this is available, and this is going to happen. So, and editing, see some other notifications if you want to send some reminders, some escalations, and who are the custodians this will get applied to. So you can also review these options that are there. If and I talked about hold, so all the things that get searched also get onto hold, and you're not able to perform, you can't delete it, you can't do anything about it then after that because it's on hold. And hold content is very, very critical because once the content is on hold, you cannot perform a lot of actions on it. And it's, you know, because there should not be any change, delete, forwarding, something like happening over there. You can forward and read and do that things, but you cannot delete it. That's the most important part. And then there's processing. If you have any, you want to update the indexes, you want to make sure that the researching should happen. You can have this processing. There's another exports that are like if I have performed any export, it'll give me details. There are jobs which are running. We can look at all the jobs that are running, and then we have settings that we discussed. The settings are more related to searches, accesses, cases. And if I want to ever delete a case, I have to go over here and I have to make sure I delete a case, but it will not allow me to delete a case directly. It will say that I have to close the case, I have to release the hold, and I have to do all those things to delete it. But I can't do it because it's going to take good amount of time for all of that thing to happen. So that's basically what we have in terms of how whole of eDiscovery this case can be created. Let's look at how you can do it. Do a lot of things from APIs. This is the URL developer.microsoft.com/eu graphs explorer. I look for eDiscovery and I go to eDiscovery cases. It'll not give me anything unless I sign in. So I performed a sign in action on the right hand side. After that, the next is I get this access token. Once this access token is there, I'm able to perform most of the actions. So let's say I do eDiscovery search and I say, okay, show me all the eDiscovery cases that are there. So it's going to make sure that my discovery cases come up. So what the discovery cases I have? I have cricket and I have tennis. These are the two e-discovery cases. Now this is working on the advanced version of e-discovery. This is not working on the standard or other. So this is really giving me all the details. And if I want to get the cases and other details, but how do I create a new one? So for that, this is an option. I say, okay, rediscovery case created from Graph Explorer today for MS Purview, and I just perform run, and this is the trick. Not everyone knows about it, but because I'm running it from the backend or from the API, you remember we were not able to create the third premium case, but now we have the third case created. This is very interesting, very important that you are able to create a third case from the backend. Very critical, very funny. But yeah, I think Microsoft did not found out. So if you want to create a case and utilize it, and you want to do it from graphs, do it, and maybe you can skip the Microsoft limit uh, until Microsoft finds out about this. Okay, so that's it for as part of the demo. I'll switch back to the slides. These are some resources. Now, one very important resource I would like you to look at. This is my site about deleting items from preservation hold. Now, this happened with one of my customer where we had some hold applied on them. And even though I had an hold applied on them, they were not able to, even though I had released the hold, they were not able to look into it. They were not able to delete the content. So I was like, what's happening? It took me good amount of time and I figured out that the problem was that even though the release has been done, but there are some the release doesn't happen properly in the background. So I wrote an article so that people can know how what is need to be done. So they have to go ahead and you have to search for this in the search, like in your search admin center, and then over there you put in the URL and you put in this diagnostics you need to run. And after your diagnostics is done, you will get this error message that removal of invalid retention on the site has been completed. So you know that retention, that hold that was there, that has been removed, it has been deleted. And after this, has been done, then you are able to perform the delete action. So previously I was getting this error message, and after that I was not getting any error message. I was able to delete the content without any problem. So just for your information, if you need anything, this might happen with email, this might happen with other things as well. So I've put in that as an article. Please feel free to look into this. A lot of resources are available. Thanks a lot from my side. And next session would be from Samik Roy. Thanks, everyone. Bye.